Kyle, here goes your tires, buddy. Brand new ones.
You could have at least put the front ones on the back.
Lubing you right day and night.
And we're supposed to be powered by science.
That's very true.
We better be able to get two people on one train somehow.
Here it comes. Yep, that's it.
Because every time I'm in his office, he's sitting there and all of a sudden he just reaches like this and there's a piece of chicken in his hand.
I'm like, how much chicken is under your desk?
I overshot the R&D budget this week, so I'm going to need that $250.
Lubing it right day and night.
Welcome back. Welcome back. I think we got things squared away. We had a little audio technical difficulty. We're checking on it now. Pretty good now, guys? All right. So
Sounds great.
we are episode 89 and
A half?
89.2. So we're going to jump ahead. We already went through a little bit of our video that I think had some audio issues, but because we were shortened on time a little bit, we're going to go ahead and keep going. We did want to give that quick shout out to our dealers that we did, MH Diesel Performance in Glenrock, Wyoming, and Disturbed Silence Diesel in Wisconsin. So we appreciate those guys. And I think if you guys tell me down below if we are having audio issues, we'll get it squared away. But I think we look like we're pretty good to go, right? Cool. Cool.
Now's our favorite session.
Now's our favorite session. So we're going to start part 2 off with our Get to Know Us segment.
Woo!
And today's guest is none other than Kevin Adams.
Yes.
Welcome aboard, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you. It's been a while.
It has been a while, man. I miss you on set.
Yeah.
How things been off set? We are live now, too.
Yeah.
We were joking with you a minute ago,
Yeah.
but it's literally live now.
Yeah, it's going pretty well.
So tell everybody what you do here.
I'm the vice president of research and development, so work with our team here to brainstorm with new products, improve our existing products. We have a lot of good suppliers that we're always in communication with, trying to get the latest and greatest additives that are coming out. The lubrication industry is always evolving, so we try to keep tabs on it. As being a smaller company than some, we can be an early adopter of new technologies that are proven out. But that's kind of a overview of what I do.
Basically, a house nerd.
Yeah, I guess.
Yep. And for all the great products we come out with, Kevin really leads the way. Aaron's the one that actually probably gets the most chemicals on him getting dirty in the lab.
Yeah.
But between your two brains, like I'm fortunate when I have a really big issue that we got to figure out, I just pulled them together. When I get both of them together, we had a little meeting right before this about one of our guys that's really trying to nail down a specific oil for his truck, and starts to go over my head. I get these two guys in the room, and we get it answered. So very fortunate to have you guys in-house. So, but today you're on to get to know us segment.
Yeah.
So
I've been avoiding that.
You have. I can't believe you made it this long.
Yeah.
But it's over. Here it is.
Yeah.
All right. It's 10 questions.
Okay.
Kevin Adams, where were you born?
I was born in Western Pennsylvania, Katanning, to be specific, Katanning, PA.
Katanning.
It's about an hour from Pittsburgh. Yeah.
Steeler fan?
Yeah. Still a Steeler fan.
Nice.
Yep.
Where did you grow up?
The same town.
Yeah, that's common.
Yeah.
The born and grow up thing.
Yeah.
What was your first job? Very first job?
First job when I was 16 and first got my license, I worked in a grocery store. So I did that through high school.
What'd you do there?
It was a smaller grocery store, so we pretty much did everything. Stock shelves. That particular grocery store did deliveries, so older people would order food that we'd go out and deliver.
No kidding.
They had bakeries, so do dishes and mopping and.
You delivered the groceries?
Yeah.
That's like brand new now. Like it's like you were ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Early adopter.
Yeah, we're an early adopter. Yep.
By the way, if you guys have questions for Kevin, you can throw them down there too. We'll ask him. So I do have a side question to that.
Yeah.
3-part B. What car did you deliver those groceries in?
Yeah, it was a boat, and actually the grocery store went through quite a few cars. I actually crashed one of them. So
Stud.
it was a boat though. It actually Didn't do. It was a Chevy Caprice station wagon,
Nice.
and I hit a little car. I just didn't see it stop, and just did $3,000 worth of damage, but didn't even hurt the boat. So
Tank keeps tanking.
yeah,
So, ironically, next question: what was your first car?
yeah, that's a good question. So in high school, actually before I was 16, my dad and I together fixed up a 70 Pontiac Catalina convertible.
Yep.
And
I've heard this story.
yeah. So when I was 16, that was my first car, and souped it up a little bit. We painted fire mist red with the white top, and being a young kid with a job, I poured all the money that I made into dates and modifications for the car.
Dates.
Yeah. When you're a kid, you go out with girls a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dating van.
Yeah.
In the Catalina.
Yeah.
Did you have a mullet?
I did. And I was
Everybody
just,
here was rocking the mullet.
I was just telling
You
somebody the
inbred.
other day, me in high school, I would have cringed if my daughter would have brought somebody home like me in high school. Because my Pontiac Catalina had plush Playboy seat covers and handcuffs on the mirror, tinted windows.
You had no idea what you're going to learn in this segment every week. You had plush Playboy seat covers?
Yeah, I can't believe one of my parents would let me do
You're telling the
this
entire world this
Yeah,
right now.
yeah, I know. It's embarrassing but true.
Wow. I had a whole different perception of that car. Now it's changed.
Yeah.
I got to see the seat covers. Woo! All right. Did you play sports growing up?
No.
No. Just like Brett, huh?
Yeah.
Currently, what's your favorite hobby?
I would say still working on cars.
However, you used to work on really cool cars.
Yeah.
Would you like to tell everybody what you really enjoy working on now?
Well, I kind of come from a big family. I have 5 kids, and now 3 of the 5 kids have cars themselves. And so just maintaining our fleet of cars is pretty much a every other weekend job.
Adam's fleet.
Yeah.
We have fleet accounts here, we can hook you up.
I should check into that because I was counting the other day. We actually have 9 cars.
How many are running?
5.
Just enough.
Yeah.
As long as you can keep 5 running, you're good.
Yeah, exactly.
How many are Saabs?
Have 2 Saabs. Yeah.
How big are the turbos on those Saabs?
They're big for a Saab, but they're still little itty bitty Saab, little itty bitty turbos.
All right. Favorite holiday?
Oh, favorite holiday? I'd say Christmas, just because of the family thing.
Right.
It's time of year everybody's really happy and thankful and nice to each other, and then just spend time with family you haven't seen for a while.
I guess the next one is
Uh-oh.
favorite beverage.
I knew you were gonna ask that question.
We ask the question to everybody, so don't take it personally.
Yeah, I would say, my favorite probably would be Mountain Dew and vodka.
Okay.
I know what you're gonna
Are we
say.
gonna let them slide on that?
Every once in a while, I'll have a Natty Light or a Natty.
Continue.
I forget what you.
Natty-
the sparkling seltzer.
The Natty Light Stelzer Aloha Peach Fuzz something.
And that is a little bit of a girly drink, I admit that.
You like those.
Yeah, they're good. So.
All right.
He doesn't have the Playboy
Right.
covers in his office.
Favorite TV show or movie?
This sounds like a strange movie to like, but
Not coming from you. I'm prepared.
Dennis the Menace.
The movie?
Yeah, the movie. Just because it's kind of, I don't know, reminds me of some of our kids when they were younger.
Wow. All right.
So.
All right. So we're on to number 10. Brett. What's your number 10 question?
I don't have one.
You don't?
Oh, is number 10 the surprise question?
10 so we leave it open, so
okay.
we always have some for you. I'll ask. What is the most reckless thing you've done in a vehicle, and which vehicle was it? Because I'll say, people, we have about 100 yards here from the back to the front. That when Kevin parks out back and I'm in the front lot and he's leaving for the day, it's always a drag strip to the front, and it's like It's like the guy who races you from stop sign to stop sign. That's Kevin. He likes to show off for the neighbors. So
Yeah.
I can't imagine what you do out on the open roads.
I've got to think. Probably one of the most dangerous things was one of the factories I worked at. They had an S2000 that they let people borrow. S2000
Oh, that's bad
convertible.
news.
And so you'd sign it out, and I'd take it for the weekend. And on one weekend, it was a nice, warm summer night, and I just took it out to see what it would do. To 128 or something like that, with the top down at night. So animals could run out. That was probably.
But you survived.
Yeah.
You survived.
Yeah, I think it
All
picked
right.
up and didn't hit anything. So.
Hey, Brad, do you have a number 10 question for him?
Thank you.
Okay. You're off the hook, bud.
Okay.
We appreciate all you do. We appreciate and the people out there that don't know all the great products that we have. A lot of it comes from inside your head and through Aaron too. So keep up the good work. I know we got some new products coming out soon that they're going to hear about here soon, and we'll have you back on soon.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right.
Yep, thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Kevin Adams. Give him a round of applause. I know. Wow, I learned something about Kevin.
Oh, I have something about Kevin.
Oh, now you do?
He's here. Yeah. He took his coffee. Like you go places, it'll say like Bill was here, or Kevin
Right.
was here.
You know where Kevin
It
was
was
from.
because there's always a coffee cup
That's
left
true.
around. I'm
That's
like,
true.
"Ah."
Or that one weird fire punk mug that you had. Did you finally lose that? Because we found that in the weirdest places.
Yeah, it's actually in my garage.
There you go.
Yeah, it was always.
All right. So let's see. What's going on here at Hot Shots Secrets?
Are we gonna watch the video?
Well, let's check TV first. What's going on in TV
Ooh.
land?
Saturday at 1 on Motor Trend. We're on Truck U again, doing Diesel Extreme. And then Sunday at 10:30, Motor Trend TV on Truck U, talking about EDT and FR3.
And what is that?
That's IS, which is an in-show.
Exactly. So big.
TT is a tech tip.
That's right. So this Sunday, 10:30, we're going to have a whole in-show integration, which, by the way, Chris right now is back down in Florida again for some more filming with our guys down there from Brenton. So look forward to a bunch of new episodes coming up on Truck U and a couple of the other programs down there. So let's see. In the event world, May 28th is the, actually that is, yep, is it 28th? 23rd. I think it's 23rd. Is the Diesel World Drag Race up there at Wagler in Indiana. Bunch of the Outlaw Diesels are being invited out. I don't even want to promote it too much because I don't want to jinx it. So, but right now it's to go. I think they're only allowing like 20 people on the property at once, so there's going to be some sort of rotation. But we may have some racing coming up here soon. That's close to the public, so there's going to be no crowd there. There's going to be a limited pit crew, limited everything. They're really trying to abide by all the regulations, but it's going to be heavily televised. So they're going to stream it across Diesel World's Facebook page. I think a few different things. ODS might stream it, like quite a few different places. So hopefully that's next weekend? Next weekend. Is that right? Yeah. Next weekend we might have some live racing. So we'll have more news next Thursday. We'll know for sure next Thursday if it's good. So tune in next week. You'll get the update on that. And we are sponsoring the event too. All right, Josh? So you'll see some of us on the TV coverage. And Firepunk is bringing the S10. So after we get that beautiful wrap on the Hot Shot Secret Firepunk S10, it's only been out once in Florida a few months ago. So if you haven't seen it, it looks really good. And hopefully we'll be out there for it. Aaron, do we have an R&D update from you? It says question mark, question mark.
There's 3 question marks.
What's been
actually.
going on in R&D? What are you guys doing?
Motorcycle oil.
Ooh.
What? It's that close from being released into the wild.
Okay. So
And-
full-blown motorcycle oil now.
Correct.
Can
Harley
we-
Davidson 2050.
It's a Harley. Is it Harley specific or open to all mixed models?
It's targeted towards that audience.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say you can't use it in other things. That's just
Right.
ridiculous.
But it meets a Harley Davidson spec
Right.
and all that. It's a 2050.
Yeah.
Wow, you're leaking a lot.
That
See how I
was a
keep
Harley
you going?
joke, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that was a Harley Davidson
Oh,
joke
was
because
it?
they leak oil all the time.
That's true.
If it ain't leaking, it ain't running.
So motorcycle folks, we told you it's coming. I believe the next release is going to be the RV release, right, Josh? And that could be as early as days from now, right? Next Thursday, we might have a special episode on the RV line. So we've been talking about it for a while. We're about to bottle. It's about to go out. And then right behind that, you hear what's in the lab behind it is motorcycles. So we got some cool motorcycle stuff coming out.
And a storage and stability formula for the fuel? What?
Speaking of bottling, take a look at this right here. You want to talk about that, you said?
It's too late now. You just...
Oh, you wanted to
just... yeah.
So for those of you that have noticed, we've switched over to these clear bottles from the ones we used to, both the 16 and 32s. Well, here's, you know, if you notice the 64, the 2 quarts just didn't match any still. Well, now that we finally got them in, here's our new 2-quart bottle. And this is going to take the place of this bottle. Again, on the retail side, they buy so much bulk, it might take a while to get that bottle on the shelf. But as far as our dealers and everything, we're going to be switching to them right away. They'll have quick access to them. If you come in here, we can have it here. But they look really good. They're embossed with the Powered by Science on it, just like these bottles. So now the product family is starting to get kind of complete. I really like the fact that you can actually see, I don't know how well these bottles come out on camera, but in person, to be able to see the different colors, the fluids, and the viscosities of them, it goes a long way. Even with just the clear, that's alcohol there, the hand sanitizer, but it's
look at that.
Oh, look at that, my man.
I was gonna say we finally, I think it was Tuesday.
Yeah, look at that. So
bottled the first.
Yeah, this looks great. The Stiction Eliminator, a nice big bottle now too. So, and we've already had some questions on it. They don't have a handle on them like they used to, the 2-quart, but they're really easy. I mean, they're really easy to hold, and we were wondering if it was gonna be tough to pour these, one-handed, but I don't think there's a problem at all. And they are ribbed still, textured. They look really good. So you'll start seeing these bottles come out in all our 2-quarts here soon. Really happy about them. And we bought the dies for these. So we actually own these bottles now and this style. And they're being manufactured specifically for us. So you'll see those coming soon. Let's see. So in our new future videos, we were talking about, we've been releasing a video every single week on Wednesdays. And we did it again this week. This week's video was with Johnny Montesino, our buddy down there in Miami, Florida. Shout out to Johnny. I just talked to him today. Actually, got another one of his buddies from Texas to come on and become a dealer. He's a dealer with the Diesel Garage Inc. Great shop. They do about everything down there. But he'll tell you in the video and talk about this really sweet Cummins-powered Ford Ranger that he has. So why don't you roll it, Josh?
I'm Johnny Montesino, and I'm powered by science. I'm Johnny Montesino with the Diesel Garage out of Miami, Florida. It's a 2004 Ford Ranger 6.7 Cummins, a Wagler billet head, GT55, S&S fuel on board, injectors and fuel pump. Harway does the tuning. Obviously powered by science, high shot secrets and all the fluids, keeps everything running smooth. It's got a 400 Roster 400 Suncoast converter. We run Adrenaline 2050R motor oil. We run Nano Shift trans fluid, LX4 in our fuel, and some secret Powered by Science fuel. So this truck will contain the ODSF, the 2020 ODSF circuit. You will see it at some drag radio races, X275, Lights Out, No Mercy, and the local No Time 28X. Diesel Garage, we do sell all of the Hot Shot Secret stuff. Come in, pick some oil up, pick some fuel additive up, LX4, EDT, it's great stuff for your truck, anything diesel. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, The Diesel Garage Inc. We're in South Florida, Miami. Hit us up for any of your diesel needs.
Diesel-powered Ranger. Now, this is not the strangest thing we're going to talk about today, but why go with a small frame truck, you know, like a Ranger to house such a big motor?
It's just something we've done for years. We've raced diesels and the bigger half-ton stuff. I chose this platform because it's narrower, it's a little lighter, and it's just outside the box, something different.
Something different, and definitely something different. You know, I see the tag on the front, the X275 on the window. Like, I'm pretty sure I did not see anybody else on a 275 tire this weekend. So why 275?
Drag radial stuff is something that's different. It's not. How do I say? Drag radial stuff is who can put the power down.
Right.
It's not no magic big tire stuff. The truck is there. Can you apply the power? And it's something that's interesting to us. Catches us.
I think it's a bit more suspension tuning too, and you know what I mean, as opposed to just the sticky big tire. You're gonna have to work for. So obviously you like a challenge, and I mean I see it, and the truck is beautiful. I mean, how long have you had it?
I built it from the ground up. It's a 2-year project from start to race. We bought it as a pool truck. Took it to that shop, made it 25.6. We want to do a racing with it with a diesel, and we built it with a diesel.
So what do you do with the diesel garage? I mean, is it like a full service shop, a race shop, or?
The diesel garage is A to B, everything diesel.
Gotcha.
Race shop, maintenance. You get your oil change done. You bring your fleet trucks, overhaul, whatever you need diesel-wise, we got you covered.
Now, do you guys do any like social media stuff? Like, you know, do you guys put out videos or any kind of stuff like that?
We got Instagram, we got Facebook, daily stories, daily posts, tips, tricks, all the little niche stuff in the diesel world. Whatever you guys need, feel free to DM, ask a question. We help out a lot on that part.
Awesome. Now, is there anybody that's like helped you throughout the year, or I mean, building something like this? Obviously, you know. I don't know. Did you do it all yourself, or like
no,
do you
not
get?
Not at all. So we started the chassis on our own. We got some guidance on what power to put in it. We kind of followed the diesel scene. We see what makes big power and what doesn't come apart. So we chose the Cummins. It's pretty much a stock style, solid, stock style cast block, no sleeves, billet head, with all the good bolt-ons to make power. But
how much power does it make?
We did testing in lights out. We didn't qualify the field, but we went 488 at 147. Flywheel horsepower says about 1600.
Right.
SNS fuel does all the fuel stuff, injectors, pumps, all that good stuff. Got a Bosch ECM tuned by Highway Performance. I mean, that's our main sponsor. That behind Hot Shot Seekers is the two main guys. You know.
Awesome.
Tuner gets our shit running right. Hot Shot Seekers, oil, fluids, additives. Keeps everything, running smooth.
Now, what's your goals for this year with the truck?
We want to make the field in X275.
Okay.
We want to qualify. We want to be on the board. And anything on that is a cherry on top. We went this year with hopes of just getting testing in, and we win personal best over that. So in my book, that's a win.
Awesome. Well, it's an awesome truck. It's a beautiful truck. And I just want to wish you the best of luck this season. Stay safe out there.
Yes, sir.
And keep doing well, because it's stuff like this that really shows people that you can think outside the box and, you know what I mean, and get something done. So thank you very much, brother.
Yes, sir.
Big thanks to
Alrighty.
Johnny Montesino. We really appreciate that. Bad truck. Yeah, bad truck. And I think you're going to see, as he mentioned, he's going to be running X275. I think Ryan Milliken's going to be driving it as well. They already run it in the first event of the year. Tuned down there at Hardway Performance. And you're going to see a lot, if we get back out racing this year, a lot of diesel versus gas stuff. And that's going to be one of the trucks. it's really representing all the diesel performance. You know, it's going to have all of us behind their back. You know, hoping to put some gas cars on the trailer. It's kind of fun to watch. So appreciate Johnny. Shout out to the Diesel Garage Inc. down there. Great shop if you're in Miami. Carries all our products, and stop by and see them. So let's see. What else we got before we get into this?
What's going on in sales, since we haven't heard much from you today?
Well, sales, it looks like we still got hand sanitizer going. You guys know it. We have tons left. We're manufacturing around the clock and shipping daily. Everything 16 ounce, 32, 64 up, good to go. I will throw out one thing about hand sanitizer we just kind of put together this week. We talked about a lot of the racetracks coming back are needing hand sanitizer, and we always try to support the local tracks. And so we're doing a special discount for any racetrack. We've been doing it locally for our pacemakers. Dragway 42, actually, their box of is right there, waiting for them to come pick it up. Another local track. We've reached out to our other local tracks and are helping them out. I decided we're going to put it out nationwide for any racetrack out there that needs hand sanitizer as a stepping stone to get you back open and in compliance with the health departments or something. Give us a call. We'll give you a special discount on any racetrack, or like Josh said, you know, the fairgrounds where the pullers are at, or any type of motorsports environment like that. Give us a call. We'll give you a special discount to get you guys sanitized. So as we mentioned, instead of support your local track, it's sanitize your local track, and that's what we're going to do this year.
Wow.
You like that? So it's
Nice.
something small we can do to try to help get everybody back out there and racing again. So we appreciate the support from those tracks over the years, and we're just trying to give back a little bit. So before we get, I think we had a couple questions. I know I saw one that was kind of open-ended. Or was it? Daniel Wright says, how does your products compare to BG products? Daniel, will need a little more than that. Let me know which products you're talking about. We can probably get you a comparison. Speaking of BG, I do know that we talked earlier this week about some of the comparison charts that we have coming out. We're adding BG to that. So we're going to be doing some testing on their products as well. So stay tuned. We'll have some direct comparison testing on, what was that? Which product was that for?
EDT.
That was the EDT we're talking about. So we're doing some fuel additive testing against some BG products. So we'll have that here soon. Dan Zelton says, love the new bottles, and so do the customers. Easier to pour and not spill. Yeah, the longer necks certainly are, and that's why we at least wanted to keep somewhat of a longer neck on even the 2 quarts too. So glad you like them, Dan. We do too, and I think they look good. So today's topic is Diesel Extreme. So we're going to jump into that. Probably one of our most widely available products when we talk about a retail setting, from all your truck stops to all your auto parts stores. The 2 main products you normally see are Stiction Eliminator or Diesel Extreme. And for a long time, people would religiously use our Diesel Extreme in every tank. I mean, they really like the performance of it. But that's not really what it was designed for. We've since brought out EDT as the complement to the 2-step. But Diesel Extreme really is intended as a once every 6,000 miles or so.
Yeah.
So just like our EDT, we say our Diesel Extreme is a 6-in-1 additive. It's got everything you need in it. We're treating both the diesel fuel that's awful out there, as well as the components of your fuel system and your diesel truck as well. So you want to kind of take us through the 6 ingredients?
Shall I try it without counting on my fingers?
No, it's impossible. You must use fingers.
Cetane boost.
Okay.
Injector cleaner.
Yep.
Storage and stability. Rust and corrosion. Oh, I still did it. Water dispersant and lubricity.
You got it. You got it. So let's start with the injector cleaner, because that's really the part of the formula that sets itself apart from our everyday diesel treatment. Really,
Right.
is pretty much the amount
That's
of
it.
injector
Right.
cleaner. So a lot of times people ask, what's the difference between the two? When should I use one? When should I use the other? Again, Diesel Extreme is every 6,000 miles or so. EDT is designed for every single tank. The reason why you don't need Diesel Extreme in every single tank is because of the amount of injector cleaner in there.
Correct.
You just don't need that much in every single tank.
Right. Once it's clean, it's not going to get any cleaner.
Right.
I mean, honestly, that's the short version. But
And the dose, I mean, how do you compare the dosage to an EDT dosage of injector cleaner? Like how much more injector cleaner is it?
wow, 6 times,
6 times,
10 times,
maybe even more.
10 times.
About 10 times.
It's,
So would
yeah,
you say it's similar to EDT with 10 times the injector cleaner in there?
that's a good way to say it. Yeah, they all have the same components,
Right,
but the injector cleaner's maxed out in the Diesel Extreme.
right. And that's why we tell people, that's why EDT then is a good follow-up product because it's more cost effective. The dosage is a lot smaller. You don't need 10 times the injector cleaner after they've been flushed and cleaned out real good. But while we do that cleaning on the injector cleaner, and that we call it an injector cleaner, it's a full fuel system cleaner. It's going to clean the tank, the lines, the fuel pump, everything that fuel touches. So not only are we going to get that clean, that's the main function of the product that we're using periodically every 6 months. But while we're at it, we're going to also have a cetane booster in
Might
there.
as well.
7 points on the Diesel Extreme dosage.
Yeah, 7 points, but honestly, diesel fuel is so all over the place and
Right.
dependent on so many factors. I hate to say guaranteed, but yes, 7 points.
Right. And why do we put that in there? Right? What's the advantage of a cetane in the fuel?
Faster starts, more efficient burn, complete combustion.
Complete burn. So you're
Complete.
not wasting fuel.
Correct. So you get power and fuel economy.
Yep. And less regens.
Because less soot, correct.
Less soot. So it's people think cetane and they think power right away, but really it's a more complete burn of the fuel.
Right. It's all about efficiency.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. A byproduct is the power.
Right.
And then you hammer on it, and there goes your efficiency. But it also is a cleaner burn and more fully burning. You're getting more every drop of the fuel that's in the tank used rather than passing through, burning black smoke off, right. and so we're going to get that done while we're cleaning out the injectors with this. And then we talk about a lubricity agent. Now, what's the lubricity agent in there for?
To protect your fuel system.
Exactly.
And injectors. Injectors, pumps.
As we know, ultra low sulfur diesel is extremely dry. The only thing that is lubricating the mechanics of your fuel pump
is your fuel.
Is the fuel.
Right.
And but a lot of people don't know, a lot of people do. A lot of people before didn't know that we used to have low sulfur diesel fuel. And that was when they took 99% of the sulfur out of the fuel. And now we've gone to ultra low sulfur, which was another 99% of the remaining 1%. So we have 0.1%, actually 0.01% of the sulfur that we formerly had years past in diesel fuel. Because sulfur is a bad stuff. You know, the government, EPA, doesn't want you to be using sulfur and all that stuff. But it was an excellent lubricity out of it. It really created good lubricity in the fuel, protected fuel system. So with today's fuel standards, and then we've talked a lot about LX4 and how that's needed to protect the CP4 pumps out there because of the way they're designed to not really be friendly with fuel that doesn't have enough lubricity in it. This lubricity additive is already in there. So that brings up a question which I get asked, and I'm sure you're going to get asked too. So after we brought out the LX4, we did incorporate it into our EDT. Will we be incorporating LX4 into our Diesel Extreme at some point?
It depends on testing. We're still in the phases of testing. We're concerned that the LX4 and the injector cleaner, even though they work in the dosages, they work just fine with EDT. Afraid that there may be a slight amount of complication. Just making sure.
Sure.
Just doing our due diligence and no harm testing to make sure that it's still as effective as an injector cleaner and doesn't take away from those cleaning properties because that's what the product is made for.
Right.
So I'm not saying that's off the table, but we're not going to introduce it until we are 100% positive that that's the best route to go.
Fair enough. So on the smaller dosage of comparison to the amount of injector cleaner that's in the EDT, we've tested that, we're good to go.
Yeah.
But now that we know that there's about 10 times as much injector cleaner in the Diesel Extreme, It's a question of, do we switch that lubrication over?
Yeah, and then
And truth be told, this is a product that you're only using every 6,000 miles.
right.
If you went one tank without any lubricity, but we're using some lubricity adder in the rest of your tanks, the fuel pump's not going to blow up on that tank. You know, it may wear a little bit quicker than it would on the other tanks, but you're going to be all right. It already has a lubricity agent in it that we've had for years. It's a good one and does a fine job. So if you're really
Diesel Extreme by itself gets you below the 520.
That's what I was about to say.
Anyway.
Yep. So right there. So you're still going to stay protected for those of you that are wondering about the LX4, because I do get that question a lot. Now, I'm going to combine the next two, the water dispersant and the rust and corrosion inhibitors. We had a trucker stop by, and I was talking to him yesterday. He was actually dropping off some stuff and had some questions about the product. And he was asking me a lot about water dispersants, because we all know that diesel fuel has challenges with, water in the system, and especially now, I mean, it's almost 77 degrees today. It's Ohio. We get changing temperatures. Yeah.
34 when I rolled in.
Exactly. That's my point. So these changing temperatures, we get condensation in the tank. We get water in the tank. There's two types of ways to get water out of the tank, right? Emulsifier and a demulsifier.
Correct.
We use a demulsifier.
Correct.
Costs a little more. It's the more expensive way to go, but we feel it's the better way to go. Can you explain the difference between an emulsifier and a demulsifier?
An emulsifier brings all of the water and puts it into solution. So sometimes you'll see cloudy fuel. That's typically water.
And encapsulates it?
Yes. But yeah, we'll skip that one. That's a different show.
Okay.
Yeah, it encapsulates the water and brings it into solution. The demulsifier, and it runs through your system. So
that's the challenge.
The issue with that is it usually isn't caught by the water separator and going all the way through. And sometimes if the fuel's hot, the injectors are hot, it can actually blow the tips of the injectors off.
Right, we've seen that.
Because of steam.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times. We use demulsification, which drops the water out, separates the fuel and the water into two layers, so it's able to be taken out easily by your water separator.
Right.
It's a lot safer.
It's a better way to go.
Absolutely.
Costs a little more, but we have some comparison charts on our products too. You can look up your other fuel additives in the market, see if they're using an emulsifier or a demulsifier in there. It's two different ways to get the moisture out of there. One safer than the other, and as we know, these diesel fuel systems are under so much. The fuel pressure is insane that. Once it comes to the injector tip there, if under an emulsifier, if it has that moisture encapsulated out to it and it turns to steam at that heat and that pressure, it literally can blow tips off in injectors, and those aren't cheap. So, as Aaron said, the demulsifier. How can you get a little nerd on me? How does it separate? Because basically, what it does, the demulsifier, it makes the water fall out of solution, right? It separates, kind of like when you see oil and water, how the oil sits on top of the water. When this chemical reacts with the diesel fuel that has moisture already mixed into it, it makes it separate and then sit at the bottom, and then that's where it picks up by the water separator. So how's it actually like shearing it out of the fuel?
Good question.
I know. Go nerd on me.
Hydrophilic and hydrophobic ends of the molecules. One part of the chemical loves water, part of it hates water. So the part that loves water sticks to the water and goes that direction, and then the fuel goes on the other side. So you have a nice little layer of ta-da.
Just push and pull.
Short version.
All right. So
it gets a lot more complicated without pictures.
Well, do we need a whiteboard?
It's next time.
Okay. All right.
From now on, we need a whiteboard.
So that's why I combined the water dispersant with the next one, because they do kind of have a role to play. So not only do we have a dispersant in there, we have a rust and corrosion inhibitor, because as we start separating the moisture from the fuel in the system, now you have to protect the system from the moisture, because you don't want any rust or corrosion building up. in a metal fuel tank or in your fuel lines or any of the fittings, all the way out to the injectors. So that's going to treat and coat all your metal parts inside your fuel system. So any of that moisture that does get pulled out does not build any oxidation to it.
Correct.
Is that more just like an antioxidant, kind of like a? It's almost like, is it kind of never rusting the inside of your fuel system, for lack of a better term? And for a name drop on one of our other products?
Well, for name dropping products, it's exactly like that.
Is it?
But so that's a close enough analogy that I'm not going to argue today.
All right, I'll take
I mean,
it.
it's good. It's good enough to get the point across.
Okay.
You know.
Which leads us with our sixth and final one, which is a fuel stabilizer. Which, me originally coming from the gas world, I was really surprised to find out how quickly diesel fuel goes bad. I've got gas cans in the corner of my garage. I don't know how old they are. I'm like, oh, I might still start my mower or something, like hopefully it's good. But diesel fuel can go as bad as, start going bad in 30 days?
It starts to degrade, yeah, absolutely.
That's incredible. And that's 30 days after you think you got it. How long was it sitting,
Right. So
at the fuel station?
3 months is when it really starts to tank, and 6 months it's pretty bad shape.
What happens
typically.
when diesel fuel starts to go bad? Like, is the cetane dropping out of it?
Oxidation is the big one, and asphaltene's dropping out.
You said
Forming.
asphaltenes.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get to that in a little bit, right?
Ooh, are we?
But that's why we put a fuel stabilizer in there.
Yeah.
And not only is it a stabilizer to get you through that tank, our fuel I think I'll ask you, how long is this stabilizer
We
fuel
say
for?
1 year.
1 year, but we know it's past that. We know it's well past that. So just in case you do have a lot of our farmers, our agriculture guys with the farming equipment that maybe every piece doesn't get started all that often, to treat that fuel with some diesel extreme is great because you're at least going to get a year's protection on that tank of fuel. Or the tanks of fuel. People actually have bulk
Bulk
tanks of
tank.
fuel. We're often we sell the stuff by the drums and the 55-gallon drums for these big bulk tanks. So these big companies and factories that are using bulk diesel fuel, they treat it just so they can constantly keep those tanks reloaded and refilled, and it doesn't go bad by the time they get through. We're talking hundreds of thousands of gallons of fuel that they're treating and stuff. So it's really good, especially agriculture, to make sure that fuel stays good for all your systems, keeping them clean. So that's your 6: your injector cleaner, your cetane booster, your lubricity agent, your rust and corrosion inhibitor, your demulsifier, and your fuel stabilizer, all in one shot. So what are we really treating when, like we said, what's going to be the benefits of doing this? You're going to, one of the side advantages is reducing DPF regens. That's
Correct.
mainly coming from the cetane burning cleaner?
Yes.
So remember the initial job is to clean everything out, but while we do it, we're also getting a cleaner burn.
Not dirtying up other components.
Right.
Yeah.
And one of the chemicals that we use in this same one that we use in the EDT as well is unique in that it is also an expensive option when it comes to picking out which chemicals to use for these products. But we have an ID cleaner in there.
Correct.
So not all your fuel products out there do, because it's a more expensive option and there's different ways to clean. But IDs are kind of a more modern phenomenon. Internal diesel injector deposits. Do you want to
Yes.
explain exactly what they are and how they come to be?
Yes, I will take it down a whole lot of notches for
Okay.
the purpose of right now, because I don't have a sweet board to write on.
We'll get you a board next week.
Nah, that's right. Start from the beginning. There are a lot of contaminants in diesel fuel. Starting from the refinery, all the way through the pipeline, all the way down. Every jobber adds different additives. So from the refining process, there are salts. From that,
Asphaltenes?
just salts,
Okay.
which combined with some of the rust and corrosion inhibitors to form carboxylic salts.
Okay.
I'm still taking it way down.
Okay.
And those chemicals used to be fine in normal high sulfur diesel fuel, but with the low sulfur diesel fuel, they're not soluble. So now you have all these fantastic waxy, soapy deposits that sometimes clog filters, sometimes get stuck on injectors, and now we have to treat that.
Right. And it's all done in good faith. People are thinking they're doing their job. Like you said, fuel passes through so many hands. Every jobber treats it with a little bit different. And another thing that we often say about tribology and the chemistry of all this is that 2 + 2 doesn't always equal 4.
Not even close.
There's some synergies that happen when different chemicals mix with each other, where it could be fine here, it could be fine there. These two get together, it's insane. These two are just fine. So that jobber's chemicals and the way he's treating it versus the next guy, basically we're putting a lot of additive into the fuel these days up the jobber line, all in good faith, but some might not mix well at the end of the day. And that's where it's a kind of a waxy substance, right?
Yeah.
We've seen it a lot come back in some testing on when people are having injector issues and they're trying to clean them out. And we've even seen samples of the fuel that will have actual, like, they almost look like wax crystals, right? Kind of like a crystalline wax kind of formation. And that's what they call IDIDs. Now, the unique part about it is they're very difficult to clean out because of like the way they're structured, the way it's a kind of a wax, it doesn't want to clean out very well. So your normal cleaners that a lot of companies use in their diesel injector cleaner stuff will not get them out at all. I think, I don't have our comparison chart. I don't know if you can find our comparison chart somewhere.
I can only think of one that does.
It's somewhere far, but there is one. I remember on the entire.
I know for sure one does.
Yeah, on an entire chart of different fuel additives that we have tested, there was one in the entire product lineup that actually carries an IDI cleaner besides ours, and both of ours do. So, oh, look at this, man. He's Google fast. He's like, don't quote me yet. I got like 6 more clicks to go. But I'll give a shout out to whoever's branded it. I think it was Power Service.
Oh, no.
No?
I thought it was Schaefer's.
No.
Darn it. They use DPM though.
Yep.
DPF cleaner.
Yep.
DMP. C9er. Are you
Correct.
lost yet?
Nope.
You'll agree with anything I say right now.
Yeah. Look at Josh.
Who was it?
Josh back on. Let's see. I'm a little far from the screen. Who's got the IDI cleaner on the chart there, Josh?
Performance injection cleaner.
Stanodyne. Huh.
Yep. So Stanodyne puts it in, and that's in one of their cleaners. They got 2 there. So that product actually has it, but a lot of the other common cleaners out there don't have it in there because it's an expensive chemical to get the IDIs out. And therefore, if you feel like you're using a product out there that's a good product on the market, and it does a lot of other stuff. I mean, it's got some other advantages, but you're doing nothing for those IDIs, and that's something you really need to address in today's fuel. So we got it in there. So other benefits, Diesel Extreme is going to improve your cold starts. It comes back to a lot of cetane again there. Eliminates the excessive black smoke.
Cetane again.
Yep. Whoa, hey Richard. And of course, it's safe for all emissions. So pre-delete or pre-DPF trucks, current emission systems, there's no impact that you have on it. So now let's talk about treat ratio. I get this question a lot because sometimes people try to space the product out. If you're trying to space this product out, you're using the wrong product. Just switch over to EDT. This is designed to use every 6,000 miles or so. I understand that EDT is not as widely available. It is. We keep hearing more. I think we just had another retailer. Didn't we find out this week somebody else is picking it up?
AutoZone, I believe.
I think it's AutoZone? Yeah. So a lot of our retailers are constantly picking up more and more of our products, and EDT is becoming more available. But that would really be your everyday product. Can you use Diesel Extreme every single day? Sure. It's not going to hurt anything. You'll have the world's most clean fuel system, But it's just a waste of money. We'd rather you use that towards EDT. That way you can keep all those benefits up in every single tank and not waste a lot of the money and dosage just on injector cleaner that you really don't need. So a 2-quart bottle like this will treat 160 gallons of fuel. So that's why we kind of put these in for our big truckers that might have dual tanks or something like that. 1 quart treats 80, and your 16-ounce bottle, this size right here, is your 40-gallon tank, which is most of our pickup light to medium duty trucks on that side of things. So, and I think what's a 16-ounce bottle cost, Josh? Like, I want to say like $8.95,
13. I don't know prices.
$12.95. $12.95 for treats 40 ounces. So every 6,000 miles, a lot of times people are around that on their oil intervals. And I've told them a nice way to do it is they just do a diesel extreme dose every time they change their oil. And then sometimes like I change it 4, I change it 8. You're good. If you're cleaning it, you got your system that often, it's a good thing to do. Change the oil, run diesel extreme, and then run EDT in between. So it's a nice little pattern to get in. Any other comments? If we have any questions, let's see if we got any. You guys are just watching attentively, but James Bruce says, Kyle, call me when you're done with the show, please. I'll try, James. I got a meeting right after this, but I will get to you by the end of the day. Dave Jewell says, when you use diesel extreme, don't you use at least twice the dosage as if you use EDT? I heard you say that they are pretty much the same except for the injector cleaner dosage. So how are you able to use such a small dosage amount of EDT for lubrication? Just seemed like you would need a little more to be able to lube. Can you overdo it? Good question. This is kind of the confusing part where they're saying, how can we get that much out of such a small dosage? If we're looking at a 2 ounce to 25, we'll think about it this way. Let's try to do a fair comparison there. 40 ounces, if we're doing a 2 ounce to 25 gallon dosage of EDT, performance dosage, that'd be about 4 ounces to 50 gallons, which would be about a 16 ounce bottle. So 4 ounces of EDT almost equals a 16 ounce of diesel extreme. Now, just the injector cleaner part of that, you said is roughly, I know you're kind of pulling it out, but it's about 10 times as much. Right. So is that what makes up the other 3/4 of that dosage that we would see in like in a 16 ounce bottle? So if I were to treat 50 gallons of fuel, let's say I got a 50 gallon fuel tank here that I want to treat. If it's EDT, I'm putting about 4 ounces in it. If it's diesel extreme, I'm putting 16 ounces in it. Of that 4 ounces, we're getting all the lubricity we need in either one of those. It's the other 12 ounces that are all the cleaner.
Okay. Whew.
I see where he's coming from.
I need a really big, I need the whiteboard for the flow chart on this one.
Okay.
Just saying.
All right.
So I don't misspeak.
Okay.
So one more time, for those of us that are a little bit slow, so I can draw a picture while you're talking.
We're comparing dosage of EDT to diesel
Okay,
extreme.
got it.
Let's do a 40 to 50 gallon tank.
Okay.
We're going to do 4 ounces of EDT.
Okay.
We're doing 16 ounces of diesel extreme.
Okay.
We're getting the lubricity covered, as Dave's asking. We're getting the lubricity covered with both those.
Correct.
And there's so much lubricity in that 4 ounce shot of EDT. Well, we're getting the same, coverage in the diesel extreme and everything else, and your water dispersion, your cetane boost, all that other stuff. Whereas the other 3/4 of that, the other 12 ounces in the diesel extreme is the injector cleaner.
Correct.
So that's why the heavy dosage is what it is as compared to EDT.
Correct.
So
yeah, I thought you were asking it a little different. I just wanted to make sure I was on the same page.
Okay. So, Dave, I hope that answers your question. I know we walked around it a little bit, but in short, it goes to show how potent basically both mixes are, but really the EDT, because the EDT is, stripped down to exactly what you need at each one of those 6 categories. And really you can imagine diesel extreme as that 6th category of injector cleaner. We just spike it way up, and it's just a ton of it in there. So, I mean, that's the best way to explain the formula.
That's the best way.
So I hope that answered your question, Dave. Josh Lorzan, what's up? Watching from the tractor today. We need a picture of that, man. You need to get a selfie. Casey Buster Jr.'s in. Hot shots to the front. Congrats to Casey Buster Jr. Put
2 weeks
that
in a row.
car in the winner's circle again. If you guys haven't seen Controlled Chaos, our buddy Buster Ken out there has built 2 unbelievable cars, and Casey's had 2 races now that we've gotten in, and this time he got through a deep field, a very deep field. I think I heard it was 40 or 50 cars, and put that thing in the winner's circle again. So congrats to Buster's Racing Pack, to Casey, to Buster, to Mark Neebs on the tuning. I mean, those guys are on fire. I mean, if we just had more races, I can't believe what these guys are going to do. And I think I got a race coming up here, too. There's a JJ's Arm Drop just got rescheduled for next weekend. So I think they're heading out there. So good luck out there, guys. Keep it up, Casey. Brian Reel says, what time does the store close? If you're talking about our storefront here that we're like sitting in the lobby of, we usually sit down at 4:30 here. Some of us might be straggling around later if you want to knock on the door, but if you want to pick up products here, you're always welcome to. Steve Remy says, any idea when you guys will have a France filter kit for the Ford 6.7s with braided lines available? We talked about it again last week after last week's show. Brett is now ordering some samples on some new billet caps so we can finish out the needed caps with the threads for all of them. The braided lines are literally like about to be ordered in the different sizes. I think the 6.7 might be the only one we needed one size confirmation on. But, and I don't know if this is true, but Brett and I kind of talked about it yesterday. Something we might be looking to do is actually offer them in different foot lengths of hoses with a recommended size for your kit. So you might say, I have a 6.7, power stroke or whatever, and we recommend a 2 foot and a 4 foot. But if you got a custom application, you say, I got a turbo set up and I want to put it over here, and I need a 1 foot and a 3 foot, you'll be able to do like a drop down and select the sizes you need. So that's the plan. You haven't heard that yet, so.
I've said that before, though. So.
Okay, well, good. So we'll get to figure out how to put that on the website. So.
And we see this order come in, we're going to talk.
Yep. Thomas Wolcheski, I liked my oil analysis. Thanks, guys. Thomas, you talked to Thomas?
I talked to him.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
Sure did.
Glad to hear, Thomas. And like we said, anybody who's getting oil analysis done, if you haven't heard from us, feel free to give us a call. We'll walk you through it. Was it you that talked to Thomas?
I did.
Looked good, I guess?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of oil is he running? Let's show Thomas's oil analysis on
He's
my
not.
feed.
He's not using our oil currently.
Gotcha.
That's a.
Well, hopefully
But
you'll start.
it's fine.
Brian Fadaza says, does Diesel Extreme contain LX4? Not yet. We answered a little bit ago, Brian. Not yet. We will probably do that. They just haven't tested LX4 against that high amount of injector cleaner yet, so we got to do some testing on that. So in the meantime, as Aaron said, there's enough lubricity in the formula to get you underneath the wear scar that we're all worried about for the CP4s. So feel free to run it without LX4 in that tank and get back to your EDT with LX4 going forward. Anything else? I think we're a little bit over, but I think we probably can catch up from the delayed start. The one thing I did want to point out is that we do a lot of testing with, especially when it comes to fuel ads like this with different fleets and third parties, and we put out a lot of white papers and case studies. And I know a lot of people are always interested in the actual data and what we can put out there. This was one of them. You can always call and request from us. So I think we do have it on the website too. If you go underneath the Diesel Extreme and look under Tech Data, this one's posted under Diesel Extreme. It's case study 1612B. It was a fuel economy testing that we did with the Ohio State University Center for Automotive Research. And I believe they gave us, what was it? It was a Freightliner. Oh, it was a FedEx truck. So your traditional FedEx truck. And we ended up doing, I think it was a 2-step on it. I forget and they did 2 different type of baseline testings on it. And we did road testing and highway mileage testing using Diesel Extreme and after. And I believe the fuel economy increase was 5.1% that they found on that. on the highway driving, and on the city driving, they had a 2.1% increase in fuel economy. And you can read all about it. It was a Cummins motor, and shows all our different testing on it. Shows you how they do the driving cycle and justify all the testing. It's just a neat way for us to use a third party to test our products and prove validation of it. But in turn, we actually get like new customers out of it too. I know the Iowa State and the city of Columbus we've done some testing with that later they came back and said, well, that stuff really came in good. Can we start using that stuff? And now the city of Columbus is one of our fleet accounts too. So we really like to put our data out there. So that's something you can find on our website, and makes these science guys happy that they actually get to show off some of the stuff they do in a third party test. So you got anything else before?
I would say like and share this video, but maybe we'll skip it this week since the audio trouble earlier. No offense, Josh. But definitely sign up for the newsletter so you can find out all of these fantastic details, like when we release the RV products and the motorcycle products.
And that will be, I think we just said it, we should be announcing the RV launch next week.
I think so.
So stay tuned for that. That'll be a big one. We've been waiting a while on that. So it's cool to have a market-specific group of products. So let's see. So we're going to pick a couple of winners for Diesel Extreme today. I'm going to give some Diesel Extreme to, let's see here. How about Steve Remy and Dave Jewell? Steve Remy and Dave Jewell. You just won yourself some Diesel Extreme. So I would say message Levi, but you're going to message Josh today. And message us on our Facebook page, Messenger. Give me your address. We will shoot out some Diesel Extreme to you. And you can put it in your truck and let us know what you think about it next week. And soon we'll see them in these models too. Any closing thoughts?
Not right now.
It's a good time to use Diesel Extreme, folks.
Yeah.
Get it set up now. There's nice weather showing up. Switch to EDT after that. And until next week, we're here every Thursday at 1:30. We will see you next week. Have a great weekend.